Welcome everyone to Well That's Horrific podcast, episode 7. Mumbled there. I'm sorry. This is a podcast about anything and everything horror. I'm your co-host Tom Cruise,
and I am your co-host Mr. S.
And we have an interesting episode. I proposed a bit of an idea for this one.
Yeah, interesting episode. Probably one of the most difficult episodes that I think I've ever had to prepare for, or just straight out record. It's very difficult.
Well, I hope you didn't overthink too much. The theme this week is top horror kills, or top 10 horror kills, to be exact.
Right. That is the theme today.
It is very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to do all of these off the top of my head. I did have to look up some just to get the names of some characters and stuff like that. But
Same.
Yeah. This took some time.
This definitely took some time. I'm telling you, this was very difficult for me to do because think about it this way. We have so many kills out in the horror world, right? And we're just focusing on movies, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really specify when I mentioned it to you. So if you had somebody from a TV show, that's okay too. But
I wasn't even focused on TV shows. But we have so many kills in the horror world, and to break it down to just top 10, I'm telling you, the list that I have, it's not that I don't trust my list, but there's so many kills that I don't even know if my list is right, and probably there's some that I oversaw, I don't even, include here. It's just, it was very difficult to narrow it down. Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough.
Listen, when I pitched this, I said, at the end of the day, it's just whatever you like, right? Top 10 that you prefer. It doesn't have to necessarily be what you think are the 10 best kills. There are a lot of different ways you can categorize these, which is for example, how meaningful the kill itself was, how unique the kill was, how the kill was shot. There could be several things here that you can find interesting that there's a reason you put on the list. I have a kill on my list that I'm not entirely sure if I want it on the list or if it's just going to be something that I want to mention. Right. But there's one that is just too funny for me not to keep it on the list.
So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. So anyone who's actually listening and judging our list, please don't judge it. Please don't judge my list because my list is very specific, to me. A lot of the kills that I put on here are ones that stuck with me from my childhood, which is why I have it on this list.
Now, with that being said, I said this right before we started recording. I said I want to see if there's any kills that overlap, and I'm sure there will be. Because I have a few that I'm again, not to be that guy, because again, this is my list, but I have a few that I know for a fact other people would have thought of, and it's just because they stand out a lot to me as well.
Right.
But with that being said, let's see.
I do think that we're gonna overlap on some. Here's one thing that I did do though. I don't know if you did this. So I have my list here. I have a lot of kills that I put down here. So I went by franchise. So for me, what I tried to do is
you tried to take one from each.
And that's hard to do. So what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do though is, we're gonna have honorable mentions, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add as much in my honorable mentions as I possibly can.
That's fine.
No other what am I supposed to do?
I started that same way as well, but I kept on thinking I have to be honest with myself because I'm not gonna just pull one from each. If there might be several from one franchise that I think are better. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna if I feel like there's 2 from one franchise that are better than any of a different franchise, and that's it is what it is, right?
Right.
But I guess how do we want to start this?
I think
bottom up, right? Bottom up, right?
We save worst to best.
Yeah. But you see, wait, sorry. There's no worst here. These are top 10.
Top 10, but what I mean is you start with 10 and work your way down to number 1.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but these are all good kills. I want to be clear here. Worst implies that these are bad kills. No. Yeah. Okay.
You want to go first?
Fine, I'll go first. And this is one of the funniest kills for me. I'm not entirely sure you've seen this movie. I actually didn't even get the name of this character. This is from the movie Deep Blue Sea.
Oh my god. Of course I saw this movie, bro. I saw this movie 100 times, man. I even know what kill you're gonna talk about right now.
Samuel
You're talking
Jackson.
about yeah, I know it.
His character,
You know what's
man.
crazy?
That
I had that here as an
speech-
honorable mention.
That speech that he gave just to end up getting killed by that shark that way. But which, by the way, is like, again, I get it. These sharks were super smart, but that was like the most unrealistic shark kill ever. But with that being said, it was still crazy, and it was just after that big speech. It was just the way he gave. You know, he had this whole monologue just for the shark to come out and kill him.
It
So
was. Go ahead.
I think it speaks for itself. I mean, you can continue.
It was definitely one of the most memorable kills that I remember, you know, that I had to watch as a kid because I did not expect that to happen. I thought I was safe. You know, I thought he's making a speech. Nothing can happen right now.
He was above water.
That was good. Yeah, that's a good kill. That's a top kill right there for sure. Here's one I have, and it's probably so whack to you, like, but for
Again,
me,
there's no whack here, man.
there's no
Listen,
whack. There's
man.
no whack. Again, there's so many, man. But there's again some that just stick with me.
This is your number 10.
This is my number 10. This is Child's Play 2. When Chucky is in the basement, the foster dad goes down in the basement to check on Andy, and then Chucky kind of has him upside down on the stairs, and he goes, "How's it hanging, Phil?" And he just kills it. I
Chucky,
mention this line everywhere I go. Like every single time I always say, "How's it hanging, Phil?" And like anyone who knows what I'm talking about, they get it. Those that don't, it's fine. But this was memorable.
There's a lot
absolutely.
of Chucky kills, man. There's a lot
Dude,
of really
there's
good
so
Chucky
many.
kills.
So
There's a lot
many.
of that is probably the most memorable one.
Yeah.
There's the teacher. There's the
guard at the
guard.
factory when he's like
Yep.
checking on the maintenance and whatever, and then
Yep.
he has those the
Yep.
doll's eyes right on him. That was one I had, but I was like, nah, this one, How's It Hanging, Phil? This one always sticks with me, man. There's no way, man.
What I like the most about those early Chucky films, and not that Brad Dourif's voice has changed, and maybe it's just like the animatronics, but it just looked creepier and it sounded creepier back then.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. They look like mean. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying? Like
that particular scene, where I will forever remember, like the How's It Hanging? Oh my god,
dude, and he looks like it's like so creepy and eerie,
Yeah,
but at the
it's so
same
good.
time, it's so Chucky because he's funny. He's a smartass. So that was that.
All right.
You want me
I
to
have
go
another-
number 9? We'll work out with like this.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Number 9, I have Fear Street.
Which one is it? The
first
bread?
one, the bread slice. Yeah.
Yeah, bread
Do you
slice.
know
All right,
why? Do you know why I have that as number 9? I have that as number 9 because when I saw that film, I think it was a while that I did not see it coming. Like I didn't like she got stabbed right before it happened, so I'm like, oh damn, she got stabbed. But then she kind of fought back. I'm like, yeah, there's no way they're gonna kill a main character like this.
Exactly.
And-
That's what threw me out. Threw
And
me off the
then
most.
she dies. Like he puts her through the fucking bread slicer machine, and she dies. And like you see her head, like all her brains out. I'm like, dude, that was like whoa. That was a whoa moment for me for sure. And like I was really into the movie at the time, and it's just like it was a great kill, done well. That was
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. That completely threw me off watching it. I did not think they would kill a main protagonist like that or a main character like that. And it's funny you mentioned that because
yeah.
it's that kill was not on my list for the record. However, this next kill also completely threw me off because I
Okay.
think we spoke about this movie before. We saw the trailer, and I thought the trailer showed something else entirely. And I think this one is a one that a lot of people will have on the list. It's the pole in Hereditary. The little girl, man.
Okay, so we're overlapping here. I mean, sort of, because I have this on my list.
Listen, I knew it.
On my list, bro.
There's some that you just have to include, and I feel like the pole is one of them.
I don't know if you see that there. Hereditary.
Yeah.
Dude.
I saw what you have written underneath, and I think I have that one too. But let's continue.
Oh man.
So the little
Great
girl, the little girl getting her head cut off like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see it coming, and they teased you with her allergies and everything, and then for her to just die like that. And then the movie I thought was about the grandmother and her, but it ended up being about the brother. I was just
the
really thrown
movie did a great job of kind of setting it up for you, the fan, the audience, to think that it is about her, that there's some tie with the grandma. She's obviously a little bit different from her brother and whatnot. And not only did this scene, this death, like catch you off guard, but man, it changed your whole view. Like I felt so bad. Like I felt sad. It was very hard for me to like the way the brother acts. He does a great job of like tearing up. He just he sits there in the car like what is your thought process in the moment? Like you don't know what to do in the moment, and like I think he portrayed that beautifully. Like
I feel like that was the most realistic thing ever too. It's just like what is that? I sympathize or empathize with him the most. It was just like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you even go back? How do you tell? How do you
just go straight to sleep? Like, he goes straight to sleep. He's like, bro, like, what am I like? What? Hey, mom, wake up! You know, like, look what happened. It's not even that too. It's also the fact that like she ate the brownie. Like she didn't want to be there, and like she ate the brownie, and like it had nuts, I think, or nuts. Yeah. She was allergic to nuts, and like she couldn't breathe. Reaction.
But that's what threw me off too, because I thought, okay, she's having an allergic reaction. They put your focus on the fact that she's having that allergic reaction, and he's like, oh, he has to take to get her, and then she ends up dying a completely different way.
He tries to escape the dead animal on the road, and dude, I did not expect that to happen, and damn, I felt like shit when it did happen.
No, 100%.
That definitely is a top kill for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And then since I got next again, man, I saw it on your list, but it's also on mine. I saw The Thing, but I'm gonna guess it's a defibrillator kill. Yeah, that's the one that I have on the list.
Yeah,
because obviously The Thing, you don't know who The Thing is, and then just grabbing the hands like that, and just how well that was done in the time. What year was that? When movie came out? Was that the late 70s?
That is late 70s.
Oh my god, the effects that movie has, you can see why that movie was huge.
That movie was definitely a success. And it also a lot of movies piggybacked off of that, like The Faculty.
Exactly.
The Faculty
100%. 100%. That's what I was gonna get to. Was like when you think of like movies after that, it's like there's a lot of influences from that particular movie, and nothing like even to this day, there's a lot of movies who like at least gore wise, like or creepiness wise, that you can't match that. You can't match that, and it started the whole like guess who the monster thing is, and like there's. I don't know. That was one of the best kills.
It's definitely a plus. It's definitely a plus when you know it's a horror movie and there's going to be kills, but also when there's also a great story to it that you really follow. You're really into it, and the thing.
And it's a mystery. It's a mystery. At the same time.
And a great mystery at that. And it was really good. Very good. Okay, so that was your 8, right?
Yeah.
My 8 is the Hatchet kill. So the Hatchet trilogy is one of my go-to movies. I definitely like watching. It's definitely one of the goriest movies, goriest franchises there is. And I like the first kill where he's introduced. Victor Crowley is like the main guy, and
you're gonna have to refresh my memory because I don't have it off the top of my head.
Yeah, so this kill is there's like a group of people. Obviously, they go to this place where Victor Crowley's like house was, and they don't know about him like that, and there's an old lady there, and Victor Crowley just comes, like, you just see him through the thunder, and he's, like, comes through there, and he just, like, grabs her from behind, like,
I remember this. I remember
he separates her face in half, and, like, you see it, like, the way the camera moves around it, too, it's like, damn. And that was just definitely a kill that I was like, damn, like, I felt that one, So, yeah, that was a good kill for me.
No, that's not on my list, but I do remember that kill, yeah. The Hatchet franchise, it was like a combination of a lot of other different franchises for me. A mixture of like Jason in terms of the violence, but then
absolutely. The gore was there. Definitely the story was kind of like Jason's story. Danielle Harris was in there, in the second one, which I really enjoyed. There was this Asian actor. He was in all of them. I forgot what his name was, but he played like his brother and his brother and his cousin. I don't know. But it was definitely it was good because they made Victor Crowley seem like a beast, like not to be touched, and it was good. It was interesting. It was fun. It was fun to watch more than the story wasn't all that, but it was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, so you again. Yeah, that was your number 7.
Yeah. Okay. No, that was my 8.
Okay.
So I had the Chucky one, I had the Fear Street one, and now I had the Hatchet. So now this is my 7th one. Okay. This one is American Psycho. The Jared Leto scene.
Yeah. Okay.
What was his
This
name?
is a big one too. I don't have this on
Yeah.
my list, but this is a big one.
Paul Allen. I remember watching it as a kid. I saw this as a kid, and just the setup. I think with the cover and all that. Like Paul Allen is completely oblivious to what the hell is going on, and he's like right
putting on the
behind them.
suit.
Yeah,
He's like having a conversation with him, all jolly and all, and just like,
legit. And
I
he's
love
just
it.
like
So
he's
good.
getting ready, planning it. He goes right behind them. Boom, and like there's something about that when I saw it when I was a kid, I'm just like, yo, that was scary. Like that was actually scary. Like I was praying it didn't happen. Like I was praying for Jared Leto's character, Paul Allen, to be like, yo, please turn around or something. And he didn't. And I remember watching it young, and it just it stuck with me. And it's definitely a memorable kill for a lot of people too. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Definitely shows Christian Bale's psychotic mind. So
yeah. I really like that movie. There's a lot of things about that movie in general, just the way just Christian Bale's character acts entirely. Just his performance is amazing.
amazing, absolutely.
Now, what number am I up to? Am I number seven?
Seven, yeah, seven. Yeah.
Okay, so number 7, I have from the movie Seven. This kill is actually off screen.
Okay.
This is not a kill that you see. It's just described to you. Very disturbing kill. It's the lust kill, and it's just because the way they describe it and they tell you about it. It's never actually shown on screen. But do you remember this kill?
Is this the beheading?
No. This is the
refresh my memory. Because I've seen Seven, like not as much as I should have, but I've definitely seen it to know what it was about and all that.
So there's every sin has a death,
Right.
and I think they show mostly all of them. I guess the first couple we don't see, but lust we hear about that he basically had a man have sex with a prostitute with a knife attached to the like a part down there.
Okay. You can say his dick. Okay.
So it was just you see a shot or picture of the device itself, and it was just very, very disturbing. And it just I always remember how fucked up that just seeing that was.
Yeah. I think I remember this, man. Hold up now. I gotta look it up. But I think I remember this. Definitely okay, definitely having that there probably as an honorable mention for me,
It was like a crazy device sort of thing. And it was crazy. It was one of those things where I just remember seeing this what? Is that what he made him do? I was like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah. Kevin Spacey is portrayed also as a freaking psychotic dude himself.
Yeah.
And the ending to that movie too was just very unpredictable too.
That kill could be on the list too. That was a fucking crazy ass kill.
Yeah. That's what my mind went to. That was my mind went to as soon as you mentioned,
I could have easily said that one, but I just in my head I just thought of all the kills in that movie, and then I thought how fucked up that one was.
Yeah. Okay.
It's me again, right?
It's you again.
Number 6. I had to look up the name of this one.
Okay.
It's the Rack Trap from Saw 3.
Yep. I know this one.
This is the spinning limbs.
This one, you know what's crazy? I have this. So I have one from Saw, and you know what? I'm gonna change it now. I'm gonna put it to 6. But okay, explain your kill.
No, I mean, so I think the plot of the movie is important here too, because this was the man responsible for the death of one of his children, right?
Yeah.
And he has to save this man.
Yeah.
Knowing that he killed his son, right? It was his son.
Right.
And
at the park or something like that.
Yeah. It was like a car accident. And the man is strapped onto a machine with all his limbs held up, basically held up like if he was on a wall. And they're slowly twisting. And it starts arm by arm, leg by leg, so eventually his head just twists all the way around. So his face is in the back of his head.
Yeah, it's very gruesome, man, because that kill, I feel like it's only I have it here as an honorable mention, that kill, because I was looking at like my franchise, and that's one that stuck out to me. I just feel bad because he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like the guy that was actually on the machine, you know,
Yeah,
like he
he
felt
had
bad,
no
but he
choice.
couldn't do anything about it. Like if he had a chance, maybe, but because the other guy didn't care. He's like, oh, then he killed my son. Like he didn't care until late. Like until late,
Yeah.
he wanted to help him out. So I felt really bad.
Yeah,
But-
it wasn't one of the traps where like there was much of a chance there.
Yeah, yeah.
There wasn't much of a chance.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw in my Saw right here and do the hair pulling trap on Saw 4. It's
This
centered
is
around
the girl.
so it's centered around the guy who's just talking about time and like all that stuff, and like this kill. Saw obviously is known for torture, you know, torture
I'm
porn
really
and all that.
I remember this, but I'm trying to remember if she survives and then ends up getting killed some another way.
Bro, she survives it, but then she attacks him. And
Yes,
like,
exactly.
But when you see like
Yeah.
the scalp
Yeah.
right here coming out, like bro, and like that was one of the kills that I mean, obviously you feel a lot of the kills in Saw, but like this one for sure.
It's one
is
of the
like-
most painful things that I was always wondering, like, can you, like, is it torture? I mean, yes, it's torture, but what I mean, like, can you die from that?
dude. Bro, have you ever fought with a sibling and like they grab your hair?
Yeah, of course.
Like it hurt. It hurts.
Back
I
when
used to
had
have long
longer
hair
hair.
twice. Yeah. Dude, this one was just like, and the way they did it, and like her screaming and like it just the blood. I was like,
Yeah. I'm
Damn.
with you.
that
Um,
was tough.
We
that
can
was
do
tough.
this list just for the Saw franchise. There's so many.
We really
kills
can,
there, too.
man. We really can, man. But yeah, that was so. What should I do? Because like, you
Listen,
did.
my list is all over the place too. Just pick what you think is your number 6.
It's not even that, but like that was 6, right? So I'm putting that at 6. But now I'm on 5. But like I have Hereditary as 5, but you listed it.
That's
So,
fine.
Should I
I mean,
list
if
it again? Like,
we that was your number 5. If you want to take this opportunity and give an honorable mention.
how about we do that? How about if we like mention one of our kills, we just change it or mention something else?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
But the thing is, my whole thing is my list is based off like how much it impacted me or how much I liked it.
True.
So like if you do that, yeah,
Okay, so then I'm gonna leave Hereditary. I'm gonna mention your honorable mention. And how about that?
yeah,
So my 5th kill, just to be clear, everybody, is Hereditary, the pole scene where
yeah.
Okay. Then you know what? Honorable mention is gonna be Georgie's death on It.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's a really
because
good one.
only because you see Pennywise actually bite his arm off, and you see the blood and the missing arm on Georgie in theaters. When I went to go see it, I'm like, yo, I'm surprised they showed it because I did not think they were going to show it. And
Yeah,
they did a great job, and you feel bad for him too, and like he's
Off-
being dragged, and the whole
Yeah.
rain and the cat, and like
off the top of
everything
my
about it was
head,
great. Yeah,
that would, if we had to make this list of like more recent movies, that's gonna be like their number 1.
oh, absolutely,
That one was like one of the most meaningful like kills in more recent movies. That
Yeah.
one, the Pole Hereditary, that was pretty recent, and the one that the one that you mentioned from Fear Street, those are all like pretty recent movies. And
Yeah.
look, those are really good kills.
Yep.
What am I number? I'm number 5.
5.
So 5. I have our favorite movie of all time, or at least my favorite movie of all
Oh,
time.
God.
I have Linda.
Okay.
And I have Linda on this just because it was just it's one of the most unique Michael Myers kills. Just him dressing up with the sheet over and pretending to be her boyfriend. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like I even dressed up as this before. This really stood out to me, and I know that there's a lot of other kills that Michael has, but like this one was simple but sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on to this. Hold
Yeah.
on to this one. This kill.
Okay.
But it is definitely a great kill.
Yeah.
And, a iconic slasher film, to transcended a lot of horror movies and whatnot. Great. Perfect. Remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
My number. No, you go again. You
I go again.
You're going forward.
Okay.
Yeah, you go again.
So this is tough, right? Because now I'm
Yeah.
saying that whatever kill I say now, I say I like more than that Linda kill. But with that
Yeah.
being said, some of these kills were just very, very shocking. And for me, this is another franchise that I could easily make a top 10 just from this franchise. This is Final Destination 2. This is the dentist scene.
Oh, okay. You have the dentist scene. I don't
Yeah, I
have
have
the
the-
dentist scene. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
after you see,
Okay.
it's easy because you could have had it. You could easily have another one.
Right.
And
Right.
the I mean, this movie has a whole bunch of fake outs. And again, this movie has a lot of kills. I really like Final Destination 2 now that I really think about it. But
Okay.
there's a lot of kills in the franchise where they like fake you out. And I guess maybe because this was the second movie, I wasn't expecting this. And
Okay.
it was a scene where he's getting a filling or something, and he's at the dentist. He almost like chokes on like something in his mouth, blah blah blah. He finally gets out, and he gets saved very last minute. Is able to go outside, but then decides to fucking jump on the like scare the pigeons away, and then this machine just comes and squishes him on the spot, and it's just like
it's beautifully done.
Yes.
Beautifully done. I think like with
the way it
whole
was
body
orchestrated.
tool.
Yeah, the way it was orchestrated, it was almost like one of those machines where you see like this one little thing start everything.
Right.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where like, again, it was a fake out. You started the dentist scene and then you get here, and then again, shocking. Now I'm interested to see what you have from Final Destination 2. But with that being said, let's continue. This is going to be your number
4.
four. Okay,
4. Yeah. My number 4. Okay, so just mention Final Destination real quick. I think Final Destination, as I was writing this list, I feel like Final Destination has a lot of great kills.
100%.
Because
100%.
Final Destination does this thing where they kind of have so much suspense before the kill.
Yeah.
And it definitely does help. But they have a lot of kills here, and a lot of them are honorable mentions for me.
Yeah, I have one that's an honorable mention too that I was debating whether I should add it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Fourth kill for me is Tatum's kill in Scream, the garage scene.
Okay.
It's definitely one of the best ones of the whole franchise, I believe. The way they have it set up, because Tatum is a strong character throughout the whole movie. Like, she doesn't like back down from anybody, kind of going at Gale and Stu and everyone. And just the garage scene itself, she tries to escape, and like it kind of puts you in her shoes too. Like, yo, if the door's not opening, I got to do something. Like, maybe like I can try to fit through there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just the squish at the at the top of the garage door, and like it was perfect.
It's definitely one of the more unique kills, and it's something that like I don't think I've ever seen done ever again. I think anything I've seen was only like a parody of it.
And this kill in particular, they had to cut short just so they can get their R rating because it was apparently too gruesome at the time.
Not surprising. Not surprising at all.
Definitely not
considering
surprising.
How it looked.
Okay. Number 3.
Top three.
Top three. Oh my god. I have Halloween 1978. It's funny that you mentioned Linda. Now listen, Halloween has a good amount of kills. And like I said, I wanted to only pick one from each franchise to make it fair, at least. I chose Bob's death, man. Do you know why I chose Bob's death? So you chose Linda, I chose Bob because the iconic kill of the knife through him and him hanging there and Michael just looking back and tilting his head, admiring his work. It's such an iconic kill. Like, everybody knows about that kill, even if they don't know about like Halloween, and like
that might be the original head tilt.
It is. I've never seen him tilt before that. So like, I think that's a kill for me. That's just like, yo, for people to like redo it and talk about it, it's just like it speaks for itself,
I like both of our kills together, right? We got the phone.
That's why I was like, yo, remember your kill.
The phone strangulation, and then you have yours. Like, you see, we completed each other there. That's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
My turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
We're going back to Michael Myers, man. We're going back to Michael Myers. All right, this is a kill that is. I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna like this. You're probably not gonna like this one, and it's because you don't really see the kill. You don't really see, and it's not one kill. It's technically kills.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I thought. Okay, go ahead.
It's not from the movie Halloween Kills for the record.
If it's from Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, if we're talking about the same kill, that'd be amazing.
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
So it's the operating room massacre from Halloween 6.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, you're probably not gonna like it, but when I saw this, it was probably what I consider the most brutal Michael, and they didn't even show you. It was just that the fact that he went into a room, killed everybody, and you saw blood splash. It was just I never had seen Michael do that before. This was before Rob Zombie, before we really saw like really gory Michael. None of the kills were really well. Again, there were 5 movies before this, but you never had seen him go into a room and just kill everybody in it.
Right.
It wasn't like this. And because of that, this scene will forever stand out to me. This is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the operating room massacre.
Yeah. No, I do know that kill. I remember that kill vividly. The only gripe I had with that kill is the fact that there was a lot of flashing lights, and I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Like, my eyes were hurting at one point. But it was definitely one of the most, like, he literally like he walks in there, like, fucks shit up and then leaves. He's like, fuck that.
And you see him walk out.
And I think, even though Halloween 6 is probably one of the worst movies there is, but Michael definitely looks good. His build is good, and he's definitely scary. It's definitely one of the scariest movies.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
All right.
Number 2. Oh my God. This, I debated whether it would be number 1 or number 2. I for the record, I already knew my number 1 and number 2 way before I even started this list.
Okay.
When I came up with this idea, number 1 and number 2 were written. That was already written. This is going to be Casey Baker in Scream. The title kill. Yeah. That is by far one of the best kills in any horror movie, period. There's no debating that. Yeah. Just everything about that kill, obviously the teasing and everything that went to the intro sequence of Scream, but not even that, just the way she was displayed and the way it zooms in and how how fast there's an extended version of that kill as well, or extended version of that ending. Yeah. It was very brutal. Obviously, there's a you take what you just mentioned and you say that they cut the other scene short because of how gory it was. But then look at this scene. Yeah.
Definitely an iconic kill for sure.
I see your face and I'm like, what is he thinking? What is he thinking?
Do you know what I'm thinking? I feel like I didn't do my like this is such a hard list to do, man. And I'm trying to be fair and try to have every little franchise kind of go in there, but it's hard. It's very hard because
I just realized I mixed up 2 names. Casey Becker. I'm sorry. But yes, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
What I'm trying to say is it's very hard because I have that on my list too. But I decided to choose the garage scene. I was like, let me just choose one out of the franchise. Like, this list was very difficult to do.
Yeah, but you see,
very difficult to do.
If you really thought about this movie, I don't think there's any kill better than the first.
Yeah. You can say that.
That was just brutal. But either way, I mean, it's your favorite, so you could have liked the other scene more, but they're still really good.
The scene and the kill is definitely better with Casey's, right? Yeah. But I think for me, the kill itself, like with the garage, is definitely something that is different. So I was like, let me choose that. But I want to choose so many kills from Scream. There's even one. We'll do honorable mentions after this before we hit number 1. How about that?
Okay.
My second kill is Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Johnny Depp's death scene, Glenn's death scene.
Getting sucked into the bed.
When he gets sucked into his bed and then all that blood comes spurting out. I think it's just such a dope scene, a memorable kill because he's trying to stay up, and try to help her Nancy out. And like Nancy's checking on him too and all that stuff.
And it's early like, Johnny Depp before Johnny Depp was Johnny Depp.
Exactly. And it's such a, like, come on, like Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street was just a crazy concept, a crazy idea of a horror movie, and Wes Craven's genius, definitely is in full display.
On my honorable mention for sure.
Yeah, that to me is probably one of the best kills there is for sure.
Now you don't want to do your number 1, so we're gonna go into honorable mentions real quick. I
have like 10, lot. Bro. Like, what do you want me to do, man? I have like 10.
I have a lot. Okay, let me start. Well, I think it's your turn to do an honorable mention.
What happened?
It's your turn, technically, to do an honorable mention before me.
Okay, honorable mention for me. I have so many for Halloween. I have a lot for Halloween. But here's one, believe it or not, from Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie, even though I fucking hate that movie. I think one of the best kills from that movie is Annie's death. Because
it was one of the more brutal ones for sure.
Yeah, bro, because it was definitely brutal. And the way they did it, she's in the bathroom, closes the mirror, she looks at him, starts running, and then he goes black, and you just, even though I hated Michael's grunting, even though I hated it, you just hear her crying and screaming.
And there's a lot that goes into that if you take into account the fact that she was a survivor in the first movie to begin with.
Exactly. And plus it's like Danielle Harris, bro.
Yeah.
And just, she's like crying. She's like, no. Like, I'm just like in the theater, me and my cousin looked at each other like, yo, did that just happen? Like, did that just happen? That was definitely one of the
it was
greater kills in the Halloween franchise, for real. Even though I hate that fucking movie, it was really good. That was really done well.
I'll give you another one of what I consider one of the funniest kills. I had to put it on the honorable mentions just because I immediately think of it. It was the boxer in Jason Takes Manhattan, Julie, getting his head punched clean off by Jason into the trash can.
I love that.
It was so good. And he's just exhausting all his energy and trying to knock out Jason. Jason's just taking all the punches. Just one clean punch, boom, head clean off.
Yep. That's definitely a great one. That's definitely an iconic one. Jason Takes Manhattan. Fucking trash movie, but definitely.
Yeah. It's a trash movie, but I mean, that kill it stands out because of how funny and how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have another one that like this could easily be number one. And I feel like a lot of people would probably have this on their list. You probably, I don't know, you're not really big into this franchise. It is the chestburster from Alien.
Okay.
It was the first time you ever see an alien. It was shocking. You don't know what's going on. Just everybody gathering around this man who, they just saved them. He had something stuck to his face at the time. Again, this is before any other alien movie, so you don't know what's going on. You don't know that the thing is, throwing an egg inside of him. Mm-hmm. He all of a sudden starts coughing at the table. They all gather around him, and then this thing just pops out of the center of his chest.
Yeah.
If you remember the scene, and if you've seen if you had the privilege of watching this movie without seeing any of the other ones, and you remember what your initial reaction is here, I'm sure this would be on your list. And I know a lot of people have this on their top 10. Just because, again, this was a movie that came out, was it late 70s? Was it early 80s? It was early on. So we're talking early horror. We're talking about Jason, Freddy. Alien was up there. And this particular scene was just, and there was a lot of blood. It's just the way it was shot, the animatronics too. It was just a lot went into this particular scene.
If you're not aware of horror, if you're not aware of Alien, if you're not aware of anything, you definitely know what this is, though.
Yeah,
you know what
100%.
Alien is, and you definitely know what the kill is that you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know what you're talking about, and I think definitely worth honorable mention for sure. I have a kill here. I don't know if you remember this kill. I saw this when I was a kid. Friday the 13th Part 3, where Jason legit crushes this dude's head to the point where his eye comes out. And
so this is a recycled kill because I think Jason does this a couple times. Well,
this is the one that I saw.
You're referring to the first time he does it.
Right.
He does it
when he's like holding his mouth, she's not aware that like he's fucking right next to him.
Yeah.
And he just lifts him up, squishes his head, the eye comes out, and bro, you watched that as a kid, you're terrified.
No, of course.
Terrified.
It was definitely one of my favorite kills early on too, because it just showed you how strong Jason was, right? There was always this thing is like, this man is like, they basically displayed him as almost being like 7 feet, like huge, like nobody could stop him. He's basically lifting up cars almost.
Right.
He's unstoppable. But like, I don't think they ever pop out again, but he does this particular kill where he squeezes people's heads a couple times. He does it again in 6.
Definitely one of the most memorable ones, and like as you grow old, you understand the prosthetics behind it and all that.
Yeah. That's another thing. The way it was shot and the prosthetics.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot goes into it, and this one I liked it a lot. Very creepy,
I like it.
Very creepy. But that was another one of mine. Should we do one more? There's so many, man. There's so many.
Do one more, and then
we'll do one.
I'll do one, and then my one.
Okay. So we talked about Final Destination. Final Destination has a lot of interesting kills. Here's one that when I first saw it, I was like, damn, this shit was intense. So the one where they're ordering food at the drive-thru and the radio goes on, and it's the song. There's someone walking behind
Yes.
you.
I
And
love
she's
this
like-
song.
She goes,
I
no
love
one's
it. I love
driving.
it.
She goes, no one's driving that truck. We gotta get out. And the guy up front is not moving. The guy in the back's not moving. So they had to like. It was very suspenseful. Like, what the
They
fuck?
were-
Like, are they
they
gonna
were
get out? Are
stuck
they
in
gonna
between.
escape? And he kicks the fucking windshield. They escape, and then the engine comes out,
Boom.
and then on his head
That's right.
twirls,
And
and
it-
just it ends
and
up being the guy that was riding him on the roller coaster with them.
Exactly. So
Because
it-
you have
one
the
of
kill
thi-
itself, and then you
Yeah.
have the person like, oh shit, it's him. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, so that was one of those other things. Like I keep on mentioning with Final Destination is that all the fake outs that they give you, it's like
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
at that point who is it that they're trying to kill. You think it's the characters that that are stuck in the car, and then it ends up being the other guy who was in the roller coaster, and then they're trying to find what picture showed it, and they finally find it later on where it's like a fan behind him. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Final Destination 3 is probably one of the most underrated ones. Like, a lot of people don't like it. I like it a lot. I really
I like it a
lot.
lot too, but I also think 2 is very underrated. 2 is very,
Two
very
is
underrated.
underrated. Two definitely is underrated for sure.
So I know you mentioned earlier I'm only doing movies, and the reason I asked you for one more before I do my number one is because if I were to do TV shows, or I know there's a lot of ways you can digest horror nowadays. You can you can read books, but then it's up to your imagination. There's comic books. There's a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm specifically thinking TV shows off the top of my head, and it's also a show that's ending soon, for me, I would immediately think Glenn Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal. Negan killing Glenn. If I had to mention anything from not a movie, I'm gonna go with that. That was pretty brutal, man. And even if you read the comic and you knew that was coming, they give you the fake out with Abraham before they gave you Glenn, and even that was enough to just get you.
The Walking Dead has some. I think that was one of the reasons why I was so attracted to the show. Is the fact that everything about the deaths is just so unpredictable. Everything about it. You can't tell me you predicted anything.
No,
Like
but that's the entire premise of the show. The entire premise of the show is that anybody can die at any moment.
Yeah,
there's
and
no
Glenn's
not really a
death
protagonist.
was definitely like fuck. It was season 7, episode 1. A
Yep.
lot of people tuned in.
They teased it a whole
one of
year.
the darkest episodes in probably television history. Seriously, it was definitely
100%,
dark.
100%.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we got my number one. You mentioned one of the movies that you mentioned the movie itself, and I was hoping you wouldn't mention the actual kill. My number one is
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
Tina.
Nah.
I had to pick A Nightmare on Elm Street, the very first kill. The way that was shot, they had to make the room upside down so that it looks like she's crawling on the ceiling and stuff. There's blood everywhere. It was, to this day, it's one of the most iconic kills ever. Blood all over the place. Yeah, and like you say, you always mention the scene from Child's Play. That Tina scene haunts me to this day. Just the beginning, the way the movie starts, everything about that intro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, when I think of like top kills, immediately, honestly, what comes to my mind is Scream and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Those two were immediately off the top. Just in the fact that they're both like title screen kills, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah. I think that's a great kill. Yeah. I definitely, because not only the kill itself, how she's like going up all around all that shit, but also it sets up the story of I forgot what his name was now, that they think he killed her, he murdered her, and put him in jail and all that stuff.
Her boyfriend. And just his reaction, he doesn't know what's going on. The way she's like floating in the air, and then you see the cuts. It basically sets up the entire movie.
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure.
That's my number one.
Okay, my number one. You're not gonna like this at all. I know you're not gonna like this because I'm not even sure if I like it. But this one, okay. Halloween 1978.
Okay.
Judith Myers' death. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
No, I can hear you out.
It's a little bit of a cop out. I will agree.
It is a cop out.
But here's why, though. Here's why. The way the movie starts, him looking outside, you don't know who it is at one, but you obviously know it's like somewhat of Michael because they're mentioning Michael. He's somewhere around. The guy says whatever. He's going around the back. It's fucking dark. It's scary. He opens up the drawer, takes out the knife, and that's also Deborah Hill's hand. It's actually not the actor's hand. And he goes up. He waits. He put the mask on. He kills her. He's looking at the knife, and then you come outside. It's like a little kid. Like, you know, I think it's one of the crazy, like one of the best openings to a movie like Halloween 1978. Like, I think it's something you can't forget. The whole story revolves around Judith too, and like how Michael killed his sister, and it goes on and on. It's just it's a cop out, but I had to.
I'll give you it. It's a bit of a cop out, but listen, my top two are both basically title kills, right before the title screen. Yeah, and this was one of those, like, I you know, when it comes to movies, they want to hook you in, and they did a great job here. And if I'm being totally honest, this would, like, if I'm thinking top 10 kills, this kill comes to mind.
For sure.
I probably didn't have it on my list for the same reason you didn't have some of the ones that you mentioned, is because I didn't want to do too many from the same franchise.
This is the only one I had to make an exception for, because it's like, yo, what am I supposed to do with this? Like,
no, but yeah, this. I'm happy you had this on the list, because it's still a really big, important kill.
I feel like a lot of people like
there was a little kid at the end.
Exactly. When he unmasks him, it's like Michael. He's just like confused. It's like it's one of the iconic kills for sure. And just like, I just love that movie, man. I really do love that movie, and they did such a great job with the budget that they had and everything, and just the story was great. Everything about it was great, and it's just tough, man. Like, this whole listing was tough. Like, I feel like I want to do like a top 50. Like, kills in general are interesting, right? In a horror movie, you're gonna have to expect kills. Like, a horror movie with no kills is like fucking something. I don't know.
No, 100%, 100%.
You have some that are meaningful, like sad, like a character dying. You have some that are really cool, like that was a dope creative kill. You have some that just changes the story completely. You know, there's so many that goes into just a kill.
That are just super shocking.
Exactly, it's not just a kill. So it's tough. It's definitely tough.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. I really had to take into account a lot of things when I was creating this list, and there's still a whole bunch here that I wrote down that I didn't mention. And
so many, man.
If you guys have other ideas for more top kills, or not top kills, not even any other topics that you want us to discuss in terms of, you know, ratings, we can do a lot more episodes like this if you guys like it. But this was a tough one, and we could always come back to this and do a part 2. Let us know if you want us to continue that as well.
That would be fire. Yeah,
go back. At least now we've already eliminated some of the popular ones, so we would have to go a little bit more underground with these. So that's pretty cool.
More in depth. Rate mine. How about that? Rate my list. What do you think about my list?
I mean, I can't complain. I like a lot of the kills. I feel like, I like a lot of the kills in your list. There's not really one kill that I would be like. The most surprising thing about your kill is that you didn't have Casey, but you had the garage.
True.
That was the most surprising thing, because if you're picking from that movie, again, I would pick Casey.
I think you're right about that. I do also think that knowing what Scream is and knowing the story behind it, it's not as big of a surprise. Does that make sense? Like, because you know because you know somebody in Scream in the beginning is gonna die, you know. But Scream was the first movie to do that, so you didn't know that at the time.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna mention.
Not just you, but everybody was like in shock that Drew Barrymore died first. You know.
Exactly. You also have to take into account it was Drew Barrymore that decided to, die or decide to basically tell Scream, like, no, I want to be the one to die at the beginning. So
she made this movie happen. I mean, this franchise happen, man. She really, really did. And no, your list was great, and I knew you were gonna pick it. So let me not choose it. See that? We just had a moment right there.
No, I mean, I think the Bob and Linda moment was the best. That was
I'm telling you, you mentioned Linda. I'm like, yo. And you know what's crazy? I was debating putting this number 1. I'm not even kidding. But I was like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to make it seem like I'm having number 1, number 2 Halloween. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like that. Yeah. But yeah, for sure. Nice. Speaking of Scream, can I mention something? I'm going to mention something real quick.
Go ahead.
Jenna Ortega said recently that Scream 6 or whatever, also, like, I don't think it's called exclamation point anymore.
Now it's Scream, and the M is a VI, maybe?
Yeah, Roman numeral, yeah. Okay. Interesting. There was I think a screening, if I'm not mistaken. So what, like, you know me, I muted a lot of the words or not. There's some things that were kind of released, not spoiled, released. I don't know if you want to know this.
Here's the thing about screening something like Scream, right? And I've heard this before, is that they don't really air the right version. Like
Good. I'm so happy that they do that.
So like
Good.
even if it did leak, you probably wouldn't get the right end.
Bro, screenings, I think they're cool, but I think they're so pointless sometimes. Like,
I'm
why?
gonna remember that next time I get a screening. We're like,
Nah.
yo, Mr.
nah.
S, I got invited to see Scream 6.
When
you know
I
why?
say pointless, I mean like why give it to some people and not the other people? Like some
It's
people
supposed to
gonna
be completely random.
yeah, but some people are gonna spoil it and some are not. Like me, I would never spoil such a thing. So people can't wait to spoil something.
No, of
Whatever.
course.
Jenna Ortega was saying that in this movie, there's going to be a lot more chase scenes, and you know, I started thinking about that.
I'm okay
like,
with that.
Yeah, I started thinking about that. I'm like, yo, Scream 5 really doesn't have that. Scream 5 does not have like chase scenes. It's just he comes in and kills and that's it. Like I don't think besides like when she's like on the wheelchair and he like walks out in the hospital, like maybe if you want to count that. Other than that, not even the finale was a chase scene. So it was interesting when she said that. Yeah, so I wanted to throw that in there. Also, if you want to throw in Saw, they started recording, did a little bit more research, so it looks like this movie is going to take place between Saw 1 and Saw 2.
Oh, so it is taking place between two movies.
Yeah, it is taking place between two movies, and also like he looks very, not old, but like very skinny. Like I don't know if you saw like the picture. There's a picture of him at the park with like a kid, like they were shooting a scene. It's just he
I
looks
didn't
very,
see it, no.
very skinny. But I thought that was definitely interesting. Because I thought it was gonna be some type of resurrection movie or something like that. You know, like we talked about this last week. So,
This is what begs the question, though. Is like if this does well, you know they're gonna keep on doing it. But then how do you do it at that point?
yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
then wasn't the rumor titled like Rebirth or something like that?
There's so many rumors and everything going on, man. I just really don't know. I really don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm still very interested. We'll find out soon enough. Again, guys, let us know how you like these ratings and if we should continue doing these moving forward. Any unique ideas you guys have, let us know.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok at Well That's Horrific and Twitter at That's Horrific. Because if you don't,
Well, hold up. Hold up there, buddy.
I mean, kill my ending.
Hold up there, buddy. You're gonna introduce us and close us out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I don't care about
I'm
that.
gonna
I
go
wanted
ahead
to
and
mention
explain
one
it.
more thing. I wanted to mention
Sure.
one more thing. It is the week of Thanksgiving when you're
Yes.
listening to this. Have a great day with your family, your loved ones. Sit down, eat, tell each other what you're thankful for, and then kill. So I had to put it in there. Kind of reminds
Oh
me
my
of the Beetlejuice scene, like where everyone's sitting down and they start dancing, whatever.
Yeah.
But yes.
I'll say this: are there any good horror movies from Thanksgiving? Let us know. Let us know.
That is a great question. That is a great
I
question.
couldn't think of any off the top of my head, but let us know
Yeah.
for sure.
But like Tom Cruise said, please follow us everywhere because if you don't,
Well, that's terrific.
peace, everybody.